The other day I was thinking about judgment. It's not a term that gets very much positive attention these days. Maybe any day, I'm not sure about past. But I gave it some thought. What does it really mean to judge something? And I reached the conclusion that judgment is one of the one of the core principles that our mind operates on. When we are thrown into a new situation or something, or even if we just need to analyze something, the way we do that is by compare and contrasting this new thing with observations we've had in the past that we have observed to be true. This is what judgment is, and it's how our mind works. You hear all the time, phrases like "don't judge me," or you can use it in a religious context. Only God can judge me, and it's physically impossible for you not to judge someone or something else. So to actively try not to judge something is setting yourself up for failure. It's a futile attempt to not judge. So we have to judge, I've realized. And it really comes down to whether or not our judgments are accurate or not. And this boils down to good judgment versus bad judgment. Judgment isn't entirely good, and it's not entirely bad. There's gray area, just like everything. The reason I started thinking about this is I was having a conversation with my friend earlier this week about obesity, and she was making the point that not everyone who is obese is unhealthy. Therefore, it's inaccurate to judge someone's health based on whether or not they're obese. And I was making the point that, well, not 100% of the time people are unhealthy when they're obese, but an overwhelming majority of the time they are. So you can never be 100% right in anything. You can never be 100% sure. So you have to go on probability, what you've observed in the past. And I was making the point that it's entirely accurate to judge someone's health based on whether or not they're obese. You're not going to be right 10 times out of 10, but you probably will 9 times out of 10. So I would argue that that's an accurate judgment. Something that would not be an accurate judgment would be, let's say I am talking to someone who has a different skin color than me, someone who's black. It would be inaccurate for me to judge them and their personality based on their skin color, because those two things are not correlated in any way. Obesity and health are directly correlated. So that's the contrast, or that's the difference between an accurate and an inaccurate judgment. Back to where you can't be 100% right. I really want to be clear with this. I couldn't, for instance, this tree right here, I couldn't scientifically prove to you right now that that's a tree. I don't know its genus and species. The reason I know it's a tree is because I'm going off of past observations of what I know to be trees and judging that tree in comparison with those other trees that I've seen before. This is how our mind works, and it's unfair for people to put judgment in a negative connotation all the time. I think that judgment is great and you need to embrace it when it's accurate. So it's, instead of demonizing a concept, it's important to recognize that there's good judgment, or a good version of this concept, and bad versions of it, and really embrace the good ones and learn to tell the difference. I think that that makes all the difference, not just demonizing judgment and saying that no one can judge you or you can't judge others. That's how our mind works. So I think I'm getting a bit repetitive here, but just something I've kind of noticed and wanted to share. So, yeah.